Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Today, we're going to be doing another draft, as we normally do. I've been playing a few drafts. I haven't really been playing FIFA too much, as you guys know. A couple of days of here and there of FIFA. But today, I decided to play some FIFA. Decided to play some drafts to see, just to try out the new meta, essentially, right? So, what is the new meta? You guys will see after I make my team selection here that I basically kind of just decide, you know what, dude, I'm just going to give into the low depth meta. So what I tried to do is I put my depth to, I believe it was 2 or 1. I told my fullbacks to stay back while attacking to overlap, my left mids and my right mids to come back in defense at some point. I know I was switching between balanced and come back in defense with them for the fun concept, but the one thing I'm going to say, man, is that it's very, very effective. It's definitely the way the game kind of revolves nowadays. They definitely do want you to park the bus. Because what I was doing before, right, I lost like a couple of draft games before, and it was because I was playing football, essentially, right? I made my tactics based off of, I based my tactics off of like what I want my players to do and what it would be a realistic sense. And this whole year, I kind of just decided, you know what, dude, I don't want to abuse the meta as much as possible. Like time finishing with the finesse shots, you just had to do because it was a must. But with this new crossing meta, far post and stuff, I didn't really want to do that. So I did want to still build on my plays, and those are the goals that you guys are going to see. You're not going to really see an overpowered mechanic being scored. It's just me finishing like a normal person. But yeah, I decided to use the 4-2-3-1 bracket 2 to see how it would work out for me, and it was pretty decent. I was switching between different instructions in certain areas. I know with my left mid and right mid, there's certain characteristics you'll notice with a player in game, and I think it was with Leroy Sané that he might have a trait to beat the defensive line or something. I don't know if that's like a CPU trait that he has, but I noticed that he liked to cut inside a lot, right? So that's why in certain instances I was kind of switching between stay wide and to be balanced. I prefer the players to be balanced and to decide whether or not they want to push forward or to cut inside. So in that regard, Leroy Sané wasn't an ideal card to have because every time I got the ball into the middle, he was always pushing inside because I think he has some sort of characteristic that makes him want to do that, right? I was playing on pressure on a heavy touch. I don't know if park the bus would be, or not park the bus, but drop back would be the more ideal situation. The reason why I do not choose drop back is because I want to get the ball back as soon as possible for me to have more fun on the attack. So that's why I put it on pressure on heavy touch, so that way I can get the ball a little bit quicker, even if that makes my defense a little bit more vulnerable. Because I think that when you use pressure on heavy touch, it kind of pushes your players out of position. Not your players, but more your CDMs and stuff. But I feel like if you have the right type of players to come back in defense with crazy aggressiveness, you know, when you have CDMs like Patrick Vieira, even Conte, even though he's small, those guys are definitely going to be very helpful, right? In this draft, I think I was using a center back Fabinho and Ndidi, and they did okay, to be honest. They weren't too bad, but they were caught out of position quite often. I think when you have medium-high work rates with someone like Ndidi, but he doesn't have the pace, right, when he does push forward. Because the thing about instructions and defensive tactics is that you can set it up where you have it so that your pressure on heavy touch is a thing, but then your players' work rates are one thing, your players' positioning is another thing, right? So sometimes certain defensive tactics are not ideal for certain players you have on the pitch, right? So again, pressure on heavy touch with someone like Ndidi on the pitch, he doesn't really have the pace to come back when he does get out of position, right? So I did find myself vulnerable in the 2 CDM area sometimes. But so far, it was okay. It wasn't too bad using Fabinho and Ndidi there. I think Fabinho would be an awesome card to use in this game. Or, well, he is for a lot of people, but he would be a better card if his work rates didn't suck so much, because I think they're medium, and you know, you definitely notice more than anything that with most of the players you have playing as a CDM, you want to have that medium high in that position. In regards to the attack with the 4-2-3-1, the one thing I noticed when you have your, because I think at one point with my instructions, I decided to put stay on the edge of the box for the cross for the central cam, because I want him to be on the edge of the box so I can pass it to other players most of the times. I don't really want him to make the run into the box because I want the players to progressively make the run when I have the ball outside the 18, right? So I think at some point I put players in the box set to 4, stuff like that, so that they don't overcommit into the box, so that I can build up the play from the outside and then pass the ball to the outside, or to the inside, excuse me. But yeah, with the striker, I put him on balanced, and this is the one thing I noticed, right? And this is you switch your instructions based off of how your players are performing in game. And again, this is based off of characteristics of your players. So I was using Cristiano Ronaldo as a striker. I swapped him in game on the beginning as a striker, high-low work rate. So what he ended up doing a lot of the times is he didn't stay in the middle too much. He kind of pushed out wide. So I noticed that the transition with the 4-2-3-1 wide is when you are with your left mids and right mids, you can cross the ball because the formations kind of tells you to. But then what I do, because of my own play style, is I like to pass the ball to my left mids and right mids. Don't cross the ball because I hate crossing the ball. I've always hated it in FIFA because I don't like. I never liked when I scored a cross. It didn't feel rewarding because it's not really breaking down because there's no skill concept to crossing, right? So I like to score more open plays. I feel like you guys even know this. I very, very rarely score crosses in my gameplay videos. So yeah, one thing you'll notice is with the strikers, they, on balanced instructions, they kind of push to the sides to offer that extra support to the left mids and right mids if you do not have get into the box set to a higher degree. So basically I had it set to 4 or 5, so it's not that high. So Ronaldo will go inside the box, realize you kind of want the support, and then he'll go back outside the box. So what that does is when you have the ball with your left mids and your right mids, and you push back to your fullbacks, your strikers are now in the left mid and right mid area. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because if you have stay back while attacking and stay center for your CDMs, and this is why it's very important to have these instructions for the CDMs, when you pass the ball back to them with medium-high work rates, or whatever work rate, sometimes Fabinho will still be there. When you pass the ball to them, you'll notice that your striker realizes, hey, I'm in the left mid, right mid position. And because he pushed to the fullback area, he also pushed defensive players to that area as well. So because he pushed them out, when your striker is smart enough to make the transitioning run, from the sides back into the middle, he's going to do a really good job at that. And someone especially like Ronaldo and Neymar, they were doing a lot of that, where they pushed out to the sides, and then once I pushed it back to my CDMs, they wanted to transition from the sides to the middle again. So that's definitely something to look into when you are playing this formation. It's something that I noticed a lot. And again, this is purely based off of characteristics of a player. At some point in the draft, I also decided to tell my Sane to come back on defense, but not my Mahrez. And again, you have to take into consideration the characteristics of your players and what they offer you in game, because the reason why I said for my Sane to come back on defense was because he has pace, he has the stamina, right? Mahrez is not really known for his pace. His characteristic is more about dribbling on the ball and being quick on the ball, right? He doesn't really have like the 90 or so pace. He has like 86, 87, and I think he's more based off of acceleration more than sprint speed. So with Mahrez's card, because I liked his positioning, progressing on the attack going forward, I told him to stay on balanced instructions. But then Sane, I was switching between stay wide and come back in defense. I was switching between those depending on how my opponent was playing. And you tell him to come back in defense, like I said, because he has the pace and stamina, he can do that quite frequently, and it wouldn't really hinder your attack because he would transition forward really well because he has like some insane pace. I think he has like 96 pace or something, right? So again, playing to your player's characteristics is an important thing. Because I realized that Mahrez is more of a dribbler than he is like a pace doer, right? You know, like Mohamed Salah and all those types of guys. I decide, hey, I want to play him on balance so that I can see what his characteristics is, whether he wants to cut inside, stay wide, so on and so forth. And playing him on balance instructions was definitely the more ideal situation when I progressed into the draft. So it was okay. I think pressure on heavy touch with the CDMs and the back four was a little bit lackluster at times. There were certain times where it wasn't necessarily an ideal situation to have pressure on heavy touch, but it was more fun for me to use it because I got possession of the ball a little bit quicker. So that's pretty much it in regards to how this draft went, in regards to the meta of having your players on low depth. Having the depth on 2 you rarely concede. As you guys see in this draft, I didn't concede a single goal, and in the last 2 drafts, when I was just trying to play regular football, I lost my first 2 drafts in the first round. So I gave in to the meta. It is what it is. You kind of have to at this point, because it's just the effective way to go. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. We're gonna go ahead and see what we got in our packs. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, dudes. Alright guys, let's see who we get in our pack rewards. 5-0 in the finals. He stopped playing at the end there just to test out defensive AI, I think. He didn't really want to move with his players. So I want to see what I get from our rewards. Just watching Nick in the background right now, so I'm going to just mute him a little bit. Not mute him a little bit, but just lower his volume a little bit. Let's see who we get. We get a non-rare Alario. Just going to send everything to the club and then just sell everything afterwards. Rare players pack. This looks like Dr. Fate from DC Universe. Sell all these bad boys right here. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think about this series, man. You know, doing a draft to victory type series where I use different formations and all that type of stuff. Let me know what you guys think. I think it'd be an interesting concept where it's like I use different formations, different players, and you guys can see what I'm using and all that fun stuff. So we at least get boards, which is good. Godin. Oh wait, Greek. I thought it was Uruguay for a split second. Now I'm like, Godin! We get Socrates as our rewards. That's pretty much as far as it goes. 284 rated, so they could actually sell for a bit here. Let me see. Yeah, so we did end up making money from this draft, so that's good. So we'll go ahead and send all of these to the transfer list. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Let me know what you guys think about this series idea, and I will catch you guys for another video. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.